Oh man, we got another one, man. We got another one, man. Hey, Kai Sotto, bro. Kai Sotto, man. First, listen. First of all, how y'all doing today, man? Hope y'all doing good, staying well, staying healthy, all that great stuff. And listen, man, we got Kai Sotto, NBL big man, bro. If y'all know what the NBL is, it's basically the Australian league. You know, LaMelo Ball played it before he got drafted. He played in the Illawarra Hawks. You know what I mean? As a player, Xavier Reyes. Damn, I forgot his whole entire name. But he plays in the Hawks too. Aaron Brooks played in the Hawks. A lot, you know, ex-NBA players, former NBA players played in the NBL. A lot of players trying to get in the NBA played in the NBL, and then, you know, in between, you know, just professional NBL players has been sticking to this league. So real tough league, elite league. And Kai Sotto, it says Kai Sotto is showing some serious NBA potential. You know what I mean? So he's been playing this league. So we're gonna see what's crack-a-lacking. I've been seeing other people react to this person, Kai Sotto. So I just want to see what he's about, bro. You know, see what he's about. You know, since I already reacted Kobe Paras and Terrence Romeo, you know, I was like, why not take the time to react to Kai Sotto, bro? So, yeah, man, without further ado, let's just straight in the video, man. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it, man.
Years ago, the NBA launched the G League Ignite program, which is an alternative pathway for highly ranked high school prospects who are preparing to enter the NBA draft after 1 year of playing experience. And in the 2021 NBA draft, the program did produce 2 lottery picks in Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga, as well as 2 other players in Isaiah Todd and Daishen Nix, who also ended up as part of NBA rosters. However, there's one other G League recruit who initially received much media attention but didn't end up being
First of all, 7'3". I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention that this man is 7'3".
Oh boy. For the 2021 draft, and that is 7'3" Filipino big man prospect Kai Sotto, who was reportedly on the radar of multiple NBA scouts due to his unique combination of size and skill, which was first noticed by international basketball fans when Sotto played for the Philippine basketball team at the FIBA level on multiple occasions. Well, the thing is, Sotto seized the opportunity to play for his home country during the 2021 FIBA Asia qualifiers, despite the G League season only being a few weeks away. Ultimately, the FIBA tournament was postponed, leaving Sotto without a team to play for, as he was also unable to rejoin the G League Ignite since he has already spent a lot of time away from the team. Eventually, both camps decided to part ways, while Sotto also learned of his ineligibility for the 2021 NBA draft because of the rule that requires prospects to be at least 1 year removed from high school graduation. As a result of all these, the attention towards Kai Sotto from both fans and the media went down, despite his agent revealing that multiple NBA scouts had legitimate interest in drafting the Filipino big man. However, just a couple of months after, Sotto decided to play in Australia's NBL, signing with the Adelaide 36ers, which is a team that notably produced recent lottery pick Josh Giddey. And so, fast forward to 2022, all the attention...
You already know Josh Giddey doing his thing, bro. OKC.
...towards Sotto seems to be back in full throttle, with media outlets such as ESPN and Draft Express even having him as the #1 trending prospect in their websites over the past few weeks, all thanks to Sotto displaying some serious big man potential as a 19-year-old while competing against grown men in a tough and physical league like the NBL. So what's good, guys? It's Real Balls here, and in this video, we'll talk about the buzz surrounding Kai Sotto, his overall skill set, and his actual potential to be the first full-blooded Filipino to play in the NBA. But before we move on, if you guys happen to enjoy this video, you can show your support for the channel by hitting that like button or by clicking that subscribe button. It only takes a second of your time, but it would be much appreciated. So let's get to it.
I got you, bro. My fault. Hold up. My fault. You know what I mean? Original link be in the description, by the way.
So far in the NBL season, Kai Sotto has played in a total of 5 games, wherein he's averaging 8.6 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 0.6 blocks in just under 16 minutes per game. Well, 4 rebounds and 0.6 blocks in just under 16 minutes per game. Well, these aren't mind-blowing numbers for a big man. However, it's worth noting that since the NBL is a professional league full of ex-NBA players and grown men, which without a doubt offers more physicality as compared to college basketball.
Facts.
However, looking at the stats of other big man prospects who are playing in the NBL this season, such as Ariel Hookporty or Makur Maker, who also both happen to be ranked ahead of Sotto in most draft rankings, you'll see that Sotto's numbers are just at par or somewhat even better than those guys, despite all of them getting almost the same average playing time. This definitely says a lot about Kai Sotto's progress as a player in comparison to other potential NBA big man prospects who are sharing the same environment as him. Further, if you translate Kai Sotto's numbers into per 36-minute stats, it would read 19.6 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 2 blocks per game, which means given even just a bit more playing time, Sotto's numbers would actually look flat-out dominant.
Facts.
And actually, having increased playing time is something that has started to materialize for him as of late. Because during his first 2 games in the NBL, Sotto has only played 13.1 minutes per game while averaging less than 1 point. However, for the rest of the games that followed, his minutes have been up to 17.5 per game, wherein he also produced a much better 12 points per contest. Again, these aren't elite numbers for a big man, and there's a lot of work to do in terms of his consistency. But I think you just gotta love that it's not all about the hype anymore, as Kai Sotto is actually letting his numbers do the talking. Sotto is actually displaying progress in a professional setting, which is something that deserves credit for sure. And if he continues to produce at this rate, I think rising up in NBA draft boards is gonna be a huge possibility for him. But moving on, what exactly makes up Kai Sotto's skill set, and what makes him such an intriguing big man prospect that could encourage NBA scouts to tap into his potential? Well, first, Sotto is 7'3" with a 7'5" wingspan and a 9'3" standing reach.
Oh my gosh.
And as expected for a guy with that kind of physical profile, Sotto is pretty much able to turn each one of his possessions near the rim into a dunk. But aside from that, he has also displayed some real flashes of being able to put the ball on the floor, as his handle is good enough for him to be able to attack the rim from the perimeter in a half-court setting. Well, prior to playing in the NBL, most notably at the FIBA level, Sotto has mostly been his team's go-to guy who's being fed the ball in the high post or in the low block, while also being encouraged to utilize his excellent touch and footwork around the paint. And most notably, last 2020, ESPN scout Jonathan Givony gave his observation regarding Sotto when he was training with the G League Ignite team. As Givony stated, quote-unquote, Kai has the ability to make shots, whether it be a floater off the post or a floater off a crossover. That's not the kind of shot that you see from a lot of bigger players.
Facts.
Well, international basketball fans have already seen such skill set from Sotto on display at the FIBA level, most recently when Sotto and the Philippine team faced Boban Marjanovic and the Serbian team last year in the Olympic qualifiers. In that game, Sotto...
Man, imagine seeing someone like Kai Sotto, 7'3", like potentially get to the point where he can move like Giannis. A 7'3" Filipino Giannis, bro. If he, bro, him coming down coast to coast transition, cross jab, hey, boy, I'm telling you, boy.
Scored 10 points and grabbed 5 rebounds while getting a lot of touches on different areas of the floor. Well, I think playing a touch-heavy style of basketball such as that would have continued for Sotto to some degree if he opted to play at the college level. But now, playing in a pro league like the NBL, which adapts the NBA's pace and pace kind of play, Kai Sotto is forced to find ways to impact the game without getting a lot of touches, which comes in the form of catching lobs, rolling to the rim, or scoring off putbacks. And while Sotto has yet to grow into his body, he definitely has been showing that he's slowly adapting to his role as a big man by learning how to finish against contact at a better rate and by learning how to use his size to his advantage against stronger players. However, paint-oriented big men would still have to modernize their games upon entering the NBA.
Yeah, that's true. He could be a 7'3" Jokic or a 7'3" Giannis, bro. But you got, if you want to be someone like Giannis or anywhere near close to that, you got to increase your overall physical attributes, man. You know, your speed, your agility, all that. You know, yeah. I'm not sure exactly when Kai Sotto get into his man body. You know what I mean? How exactly his build will be. You feel me? If he'll have like a build that kind of plays against him when it comes to speed and agility, or a build that actually help him with speed and agility. So who knows?
Yeah, by extending their range into the perimeter.
But that's not me saying he won't be great at all, because I'm just saying there's Jokic, there's Giannis, and they're both great. You feel me? Jokic won MVP last season. So
to his credit, Sotto has earned a lot of praise from scouts in this area, as ESPN draft scout Mike Schmitz has reported back in 2020, quote-unquote, Sotto displayed touch from the mid-range and the shooting stroke to eventually stretch it to the three-point line. Well, Kai isn't being utilized as a stretch big by the Adelaide 36ers, but considering that, free throw shooting is usually a nice indicator to determine a young player's shooting potential. His current 74% shooting clip from the stripe on almost 5 attempts per game definitely says a lot about his shooting touch. Plus, in the recent game, Kai also hit a clutch mid-range dagger to seal the win for his team in overtime.
Pretty quick,
so by the looks of it, this part of Kai Sotto's game is something that we can really look forward to.
For his size.
The fact that he has also displayed some potential as a distributor, both from the high post and from the low block, because of his vision and advanced playmaking feel for a big man. And you'll see that Kai Sotto can actually develop as a center who's actually tailor-made for the modern NBA. On the other hand, Kai Sotto's strengths on the defensive end are more straightforward at this point. Immediately, what stands out is his 7'5" wingspan and his 9'3" standing reach, which when combined with his great timing and instincts enables him to easily erase shots around the basket. This is one of the more pronounced trends in Sotto's game, as even in the NBL.
Porzingis 7'3" too, right? Or is he 7'2"? He could be another Porzingis type,
He has already displayed the ability to block opponent shots both as an on-ball defender and as a weak side rim protector. However, big men today can't be stuck in the paint just waiting to block shots, and so Kai is expected to be able to adapt as a big man who can defend drop coverages and switches for him to be playable at the NBA level.
Word.
And according to a 2020 report by ESPN draft analyst Mike Schmitz, quote-unquote, while Kai is agile running the floor, he has yet to improve his lateral quickness. But watching Kai in the NBL this season, I think he's actually learning how to use his positional length and footwork when defending in space, even against quicker players, which is definitely a good sign for his defensive
That's good
growth.
defense. That's good
Overall,
defense.
Kai is already valuable on defense simply because of his size, length, and timing, but further polishing his perimeter defense will just help his overall draft stock to skyrocket.
Facts.
However, at this point, we still can't determine just how high or how low Kai will end up across NBA draft boards this year, and that is if he even chooses to declare for the 2022 NBA draft. At the end of the day though, players like Kai Sotto, who already possess offensive fundamentals and solid defensive projections even at just 19 years old, don't always come available, which is why provided he keeps improving and provided he stays healthy, you can expect him to be in the radar of NBA scouts throughout the pre-draft process. Again, Kai Sotto isn't a finished product, but with the work ethic that he's displayed over the years and with the game-to-game progress that he's currently displaying in a league which has produced some recent NBA-ready players like LaMelo Ball and Josh Giddey, it seems like Kai Sotto's NBA aspirations appear to be very realistic at this point. So, do you guys think Kai Sotto will be ready for the 2022 NBA draft?
For
Feel
sure.
free to share your thoughts in the comment section below.
Sure.
And again, if you're new to the channel, please
respect to this person making this video, man. You know what I mean? Well-made vid. When does vid come out? Hold up. This vid came out in February. So, okay, it's still pretty recent. Alright. Good vid. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got no doubt that Kai Sotto will do great. Or at least get drafted in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because he shows a lot of potential, man. A lot of potential. I can see lots of teams trying to get a hold of him. You know what I mean? Yeah, whether that's the Wizards, whether that's Pistons, Orlando, like I can see some teams getting a hold of him, man. So shout out Kai Sotto. Shout out to the person that made this video right here. Yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think about Kai Sotto, man. You know? Yeah. What y'all think about Kai Sotto, man? How his potential is going to be? How his potential might look like? You know? If any Kai Sotto fans out there, you know what I mean? If you know that he's shows signs that he will declare and this year's draft. So yeah, let me know about that, man. You know, and hope y'all stay well, stay healthy, stay blessed. Love you guys very much, man. Peace. I'm out. Woo!